So, in every step of the sales process, you need to know what the reason is that you're doing it. So, what the actual goal is. If we're talking about DMing or emailing, it can either be that you want to get on a call with them or you want to plan an appointment. Let's say, for to make things easy, you want to get on a call with them. The reason for the DM or the email is now, planning the call. Like I've closed people without a call in the past. I've done it. It's doable. But the absolute vast majority required either me jumping on a phone call, me doing a Zoom call, or me being there physically. Like people, if it's a higher ticket item, usually they want to see you. Again, I've closed high ticket items without it, but let's assume for now, the majority of times that you're closing a sale, a call has to be involved. Like they have to hear your voice, or they have to be so convinced by your portfolio that they're fine doing it without voice. But usually voice is a factor. Also, this allows you to see them, but them to see you. It's much easier to build rapport that way. And just to fix this now, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It doesn't matter if you're ugly or if you're pretty. All of that stuff doesn't matter. We're in business. So in doing business, people care about the result, and they care about you and your sincerity as a person. You can be butt ugly, and it wouldn't matter if they believe that you could solve their issue and they could actually make their life better. So just, you could be an alien, an 11-year-old alien from the planet Pluto, if that's still a planet. That's the planet that keeps not being a planet, and then, or you could be from Uranus. It's the funny planet, and people wouldn't care if they believe that you could solve their problem. Now, to do that, age doesn't really factor into the equation a lot. Like there's plenty of 15-year-old whiz kids that can solve any programming issues that I'm having, and I'm happy to pay them money. I have no problem doing that if I believe that you're actually capable of doing it. So you have to, have the goods and show them off. But in general, the call allows you to build rapport and to actually show them that you're a real human being, you know what you're talking about, you're confident, you're competent, and there's communication skills to some extent. Again, you have to build this. I started out from a very low point. Some of you might have seen my lessons about that. I talk about it a bit in the SSS course and in Arno About, but I started out really, really, really bad at this, and I was bad for a while. You're gonna get better much, much, much quicker than I did, because I didn't have a blueprint to follow. But in general, communication skills play a massive role in the call. So every step in the sales process has a goal. So if it's about DMs, the goal is to get them on the phone. And if you're planning the appointment, the goal is obviously to get them to show up. When you're doing the appointment, either the goal is to get them to say yes to a sales presentation, if it's a longer one, or it's to close them for whatever product or service you're doing, right? And then we can break it down. It's fractal. It's a nice word, fractal. Fractal. Fractal is, look it up. The definition is it's an interesting word, but it's a fractal concept in the sense that if you look at it from a 30,000 foot perspective, you can see the outline. But if you zoom in, it's the same outline. In this case, when we do the sales presentation, which I'm going to turn into chunks in a bit for you, every step of that has a definitive goal as well. So the greeting is to sort of get them relaxed and acquainted to you, show that, yeah, you're actually a real human being, or you're an alien from Uranus, doesn't matter, right? And then from there on out, we open the conversation, there's some small talk, build some rapport, then we start doing the qualification with the goal of seeing, are we a good match still? Then we go into the presentation with the goal of convincing them that our solution is superior to other solutions. We might do a few objections, to take away any concerns that they have. Then we do the close with the goal of them being comfortable and moving forward with our product. So every step needs to have a definitive goal. We used to have this problem. I used to do a lot of open houses, obviously. And every weekend I would do open houses, and I hired people to do those for me because it gets repetitive after a while. And the people that we hired had a lot of issues doing them because they got their priorities wrong. And one day I realized what was going on, and I sat them down and I said, well, listen, the goal of an open house is not to sell the house. And this was like a mind blow thing to them. It's not to sell the house. The houses usually sell themselves. People that are not in real estate don't understand this, but you don't have to really sell a house. Someone comes in, if they like the house, they're going to buy the house. Usually despite the agent, not because of the agent. You can't talk someone into a house if they don't like the house. So the goal of the open house and the function of the host at the open house in this case is to get them to fill out the form. So it was like a contact form, and then we used to get their details, and then we would call them back, like the real estate agent would call them back. Your goal, the only goal of you at the open house is to get forms. I don't care if they clap when you go in there. I don't care if they're happy. I don't care if they're sad. I really don't care. I want you to get forms. I want you to have these people fill out their forms. That's the goal. And if you're clear about the goal of every phase in the sales presentation, you will do better. So goal of the EMs, get them on a call. Goal of the call, get them on either a longer call or close the sale. And if they become a client, you have to also know the goal of the discovery project, etc. But be clear-minded and focused. There can only be one goal for every step. If you have trouble getting there, you need to break it down in smaller chunks. So goal-focused, goal-oriented. So let's go through this step by step. How do you do a call? What are the different steps? What is the order? How do you sculpt this whole thing so it becomes like a sales choreography and you keep control at all times? Let's go through this.